it is Thursday, and that means another episode of Ask GUG. Today's topic is the future. Me and Nikki will be answering your questions. Let's do this. What do you think the future of Nintendo will be given Iwata's death?
First of all, condolences and prayers to Iwata's family and Nintendo in general and stuff like that. I mean, we have definitely lost a giant. And I will say that I don't particularly pay attention to how Nintendo, really any gaming industry, markets itself, or how they handle the more businessy aspects of their franchises, but I definitely think that Iwata's legacy will live on in Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo will slow down. Nintendo's made a sort of, it fosters a certain type of mind, and so I think they're going to be just fine after this. And I think just with how impressionable and how fundamental Iwata has been to Nintendo, that definitely some part of him will live on in the company forever. And in years to come, when people are studying the history of like video games and stuff like that, they will be able to see Iwata's influence in future games for us, past games for them. So Iwata has left a legacy, is basically what I'm saying. And so that legacy will very much be present in Nintendo forever. And we, of course, thank Iwata for everything that he's done for video games.
What are your thoughts on giant robot battles now that Japan and the United States are facing off in their own giant robot battle? So for the people that are not aware, Japan made a giant robot. So a company in the United States made one. It was like, we need to battle. And so first of all, 12-year-old me is so excited right now. I'll be honest, 22-year-old me is very excited as well. My only issue is I saw a lot of footage of paint guns. I hope they just get rid of guns altogether because I want to see these robots fight. I know the guy from Japan said he wants to do a lot of melee stuff, which I'm totally for. And I can't tell you whether or not robot battles are going to be a constant in our future, but I definitely hope so. Like, who doesn't want to see a bunch of mech suits battle? Honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting for Russia to be like, I play winner. Definitely a sport I can get into. Will equality between men and women ever be a thing in geek culture?
I know I say this a lot on this show, but that's a bit tricky. Well, I guess it's not. It's like asking if gender equality in general will ever be a thing in our culture. And I think, yes. Actually, short answer, I think that yes. I think that we can come to something that can come close to resembling gender equality in our society. All the same, I think we're still a long ways off. Because right now, we think that sameness equals equality, and we seem to be overlooking the fact that men and women are different creatures. We just are. There's no overlooking that fact. And so once we are able to find a way to factor that differentness into the equation, we will definitely be one step closer to gender equality in both society and normal culture and geek culture. I will say that geek culture, as far as I've seen, has done a little bit better than other cultures, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Do you think virtual reality, like Oculus Rift, will either die out or take off? You see, in the 90s, we actually had cell phones. They were these giant, ugly bricks. It was a great idea, but it needed a lot of work to get to this. And so for me, that is where virtual reality is right now. It's a great idea, but it still needs a lot of work. And a big mistake I think we're making is calling these things like Oculus Rift virtual reality, which does make it fully submersive for what you see. And so I don't think that's the future. I think fully submersive entertainment will be. There are these things you can get where you actually put a harness on yourself and you run in place and it makes you feel like you're actually running. And then you have a gun that is your controls and it's like you're actually there. I think things like that and Oculus, they're the first step, but I think the ultimate goal is going to be kind of like Sword Art Online. For those who don't watch the anime, people have this helmet and they lay down and it turns all their 5 senses on in the video game. So they are feeling, they are smelling, they're tasting. And so like I said, I think Oculus Rift is one of the first steps towards that. Who knows how long it'll be till we get there, but I think we're gonna see this step by step. At least one can hope. All right, thanks guys for sticking around to the end of the video. If you wanna ask us questions, make sure you follow us on our Facebook community page, Geeks Under Grace Community. We will see you next week for another Ask GUG. Until then, we love you. Goodbye.